Okay guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about identity, okay? We spoke before about 6 emotional needs that every human has, okay? We spoke about certainty. Everyone requires to be certain in life, right? We spoke about variety, we spoke about significance, love, growth, all the other things, but we spoke about the emotional needs that we have. Now, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the strongest need in human psychology. The strongest need in human psychology is to stay consistent with how you define yourself. So when you identify yourself a certain way, okay? For example, if you're a smoker, right? You identify as a smoker. Now, what happens if one day you quit and I ask you, so, I have Marlboro, I have this pack, you want to try it? You want to try this cigar or try this cigarette? You're like, no. I'm like, why not? Because I'm not a smoker. You no longer have that identity of being a smoker. So in life, one of the strongest things that really keeps us stuck or keeps us, away from where we need to be is our identity. When you say you cannot do something, you say that's just not me, For example, if you have to speak somewhere, you're like, I'm just shy. But maybe that would break through your career if you would go and speak anyways. Or maybe there's other things as well that we can do. So what I'd like to do today is to really focus on how we can use identity to really help ourselves become the best version of who we are. Because before you find the right person, you have to actually become the right person. You're looking for this girl, you're looking for this guy that's going to give you this or make you feel this way or whatever, right? But the question is, what are you going to do? And what you're going to do and what you're going to give and how you're going to show up in the relationship and the marriage and the future is totally connected with how you identify yourself. Okay? Any questions so far? Questions? No? Okay. I'm sorry?
For me, no.
For you, no. Okay, perfect. So now, what I'd like to say is, where does our identity come from? Okay? Anybody want to volunteer? Please? Yes? No? No? Rob?
Where does our identity come from?
Where does your identity, when you look at yourself and you identify yourself a certain way, where does that come from?
Well, I think the very basic identity comes from the parents.
A little louder, so
I think the very basic identity comes from the parents, the upbringing,
okay.
And then later on in life through the educations, through the friends, through the community that you belong to, that you have people that you associate with, and through the books that you read or educations or the environment that you hang out with. So that also has an influence on you, and it gradually develops an identity for a person.
So is that what you believe helped you identify with how you identify yourself?
I think in most part, yes. I mean, my family, my rabbis, my mentors, my coaches,
Okay.
they all had their role, and the friends, of course.
Yeah, it's actually very correct. I agree with that. I think all of that plays a role. But the thing is, how it plays a role depends on the person. You see, you have identical twins, brothers, sisters, same family, same challenges, same things. And every family has good and has things that are less good, right? And one brother, like for example, there's two brothers, and one of them, is an alcoholic, okay? Life's not in order, problem central, really doesn't know what he wants, completely lost. And then the other brother doesn't touch alcohol at all, very put together, very successful according to what he believes he should be doing in life. And they're identical. So what's the difference between these two brothers, right? Same family, same same experiences, same challenges. So they asked the brothers, question, why are you like this? Why are you, never touching alcohol? You've been through all these challenges. You have your dad. Why are you, what's going on? Why did you not continue that? You know what his answer was? It stops with me. Whatever negative thing I've had in my family ended with me. And I created, something different for my future, for my family. Okay? Then they asked the other brother, what about you? You, on the other hand, are doing the same exact thing. You're drinking excessively. You're not doing what you want in your life. You're holding yourself back from your visions, your goals, and the best part of what you can become. What's happening with you? You know what his answer was? What do you want from me? Look at my dad. So the same exact experience, like you mentioned, family, for example, and two totally different paths in life. So you're right, family plays a role, but to a degree. You see, when we come into life, we come with all of these forces. We come with our genetic coding, we come with our family background, we come with the environment, right? Nature, nurture, all of that, right? And then we start to make decisions. What do things mean? What am I going to focus on? What's the story I'm going to tell myself? And that, my friends, is what defines who you are. Okay? I really feel we need to wake up a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of music for a minute. We're just going to dance in our spot, if that's okay with everyone. And we'll wake up, and then we'll really get the energy, because I think motion creates emotion. When you move your body, you feel different. So if you guys can please stand up, everyone, please. Okay, we're going to put some music on right now. Stop! Hey, come on. Sure.
This is the Funny Collective Band.
Hey!
Your favorite hits.
Right, friends, let's see it! Go! Hey! Everyone please have a seat, guys. Okay? Alright, so the reason we just did that, everyone with me? Okay. The reason we just did that is because motion creates emotion. When you move your body, your whole biochemistry changes. Okay? And most of the decisions we make in life, you asked me about this before, Rabbi Abraham, is related to emotion, how you feel. People don't buy things based on reason, usually. People don't get into relationships usually based on reason. They do things because of emotion, feeling. How do you make me feel? What do you awaken within my heart, my soul? That's what really drives people. So when we go ahead and we move our bodies, we feel differently. So anyways, let's go back to our topic. So what we were talking about is this, we were talking about the fact that your identity is everything. How you identify is critical. So if there is something in your life that you don't yet have, right? If there's something in your life that you're not happy with, if you feel stuck, then you need to understand that your identity has to change. And what we really need to focus on, in the coming days and weeks and months, is to really focus on how do we shift on to who we want to be, and how do we shift off from who we don't want to be. And that really is the whole thing we're doing here. Becoming the right person means I become who I want to be. I identify with who I want to be. And then when I act and I live and I breathe and I'm energetically in the emotion of who I want to be, most of the time, then now I can go find the partner who will connect with that energy of mine, yeah? And then that partner will help me build the home I want to build. And sometimes, I believe in this. I believe that God's delays are not God's denials. And when you look at yourself sometimes in life, you're like, well, when we look at ourselves, sometimes in life, yeah, we have this experience, this feeling that maybe I didn't get what I wanted yet. Maybe financially, maybe I'm single a little bit longer than I should be, right? Some people might think that, maybe whatever. But you know what I believe? That God's delays are not his denials, which means that sometimes God is waiting for you to change. You see, our biggest mistake, my brothers and sisters, is that a lot of times in life, right, we're looking for something outside to change. We're waiting for good luck to come and the world to change and things to be better and there to be peace. And when Mashiach comes and all these things, we'll get all that, correct? But till then, we need to deal with what we have. And the world doesn't have to change for us to change right now. We need to make a decision today that we're going to awaken the best part of ourselves. And that comes into our identity. We need to change our identity. So what I'm going to give you guys for homework, okay, is I really want you to write the old vision of yourself. And then I want you to go and get into the details. Like, who was the old person? Who was the old you, right? Let's say you identify that I am, limited. Like, what are your limitations? I want you to write down honestly, not to sell yourself baloney, not to whatever, make up stories, but what's the truth? What are the limitations that are holding me back, right? Every one of us, right? Yes, every one of us. We all have limitations that hold us back. I can't do that because it's not who I am. For example, you have a heater that's set to 72 degrees. What happens when it starts to get very hot in the room and it starts to shoot up, and it gets really hot? What happens to the heating system? Anyone?
Break down.
No. If it starts to get hot, does it go off?
Yes, it goes off.
It goes off and it goes down, correct?
Yeah, because some kind of
Mechanism.
temperature breaks.
Right.
And if temperature break don't do right, it goes up until it break.
Well, I'm saying not break, but I'm saying it regulates and it stays constant at a certain level that you set it to. So if it goes above 72, it goes to 73, 74, 75 in the room, it brings it back down, right? If it goes too hot, if it goes low and it gets cold, it goes to 65, then the heat starts to push hard and brings you back. So that is how we live in life. You, each of us, you, and me, we all have an identity of how we believe who we are. We believe how much money we should make. We believe what we can do in this world. We believe the kind of person we can attract and get. And anything that starts to go out of that, we bring it back to that temperature. So you're not going to get anything better than what you expect of yourself or that temperature you set it at unless you change it for yourself. You see? That's what that's about. Any questions so far?
What did you do this homework after we make this homework?
Great question. So that's what I'm working out in the coming weeks. I'm in touch with a lot of different groups right now that we're going to work together, and we're going to either do Facebook or WhatsApp or Telegram and have everyone connect there. We'll probably have two groups, let's say on WhatsApp or Telegram. One group will be just like admin, and the other one will have interactions between all the members. So we will work with each other, people will ask questions. It'll be very focused. I don't want nonsense or politics or anything negative or toxicity. We don't need that, there's enough. We're going to be focused only on how can we grow together as a unit. How can we become better? How can we bring Mashiach? How can we do good things by becoming better people, whatever that means to us, and work together as a team, Am Yisrael, to become the best versions of ourselves. If that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions? No questions? You guys are all quiet.
You might just in a brief way explain this like difference between the old you and new you and how do we
So that's the homework. That's the homework, what I want you to do. So, yes, so thank you. You're bringing me back on track because I kind of got sidetracked. So, I want for homework, I want each of us to write down honestly for yourself, and if you want to share, you can, or you could, whatever you like, you can share or not. What's the old vision of you? The old vision, meaning before you're being mindful.
Excuse me, there is no such a thing as an old you. There's a present you.
Okay, that's a good point. But the present you has a system of beliefs, a system of rules that you live by. So if you don't change anything, and you live by the same rules that you lived by yesterday, the week before, the month before, or even 10 years before, that's who you're going to be. That's your paradigm. That's your 72 degrees. So now what I want you to write down is, what's your old vision? What's the old, so maybe this will be better. What's your old story and what's your new story? What's your old identity? What's your new identity? What's your old vision, new vision?
Thing as what's my new identity?
A little louder.
If I walk out of here, I just walked in a few minutes ago.
Right.
And you're asking me to write a new you when you walk out. So in matter of
So let me help guide you. Okay. What I'm saying is, what I would like us all to do, if you want to really grow from this, is to sit down and close your eyes and really ask yourself, what limited beliefs do I have? What do I tell myself? When I want to go do something, what holds me back? What are my limitations what's my 72 degree lock, the wall, the shackles that are holding me back? The truth. Don't say, well, I want to be like this and forget all that. Who am I right now? Like you said, present. But what's the truth? Who are you? Then I want you to write down, who do you want to become? If you could do anything and change anything about yourself, about your finances, about your health, about this, about whatever it is, what would that new person be? The old you versus the new you. The old limited part of you versus who you can become. So that's what I'd like us to do for next week. If that makes sense. I mean, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, there has to be a reason for a person to change, want to change, and also something has to give him a drive and has to give him the motivations.
Correct.
How to
Yes.
change and has to see what barriers or what blockage or what holdbacks are there for him.
Correct.
That didn't let him to achieve his goals till today. So
But you're going a step forward.
I think
I'm
they
talking
are
about
more involved in saying that, I was a millionaire yesterday and tomorrow I want to be a billionaire. So it's a big gap between a million and a billion. And it's
Okay.
not gonna happen
right.
overnight.
But you're going steps forward. This will be a whole process, a whole discussion, a whole thing. We'll go back and forth and help each other. I'm just keeping it simple. I'm starting from the ground level. You're already going forward. I'm saying, how do you identify yourself today? What's the person you're today, and what's the person you want to become? What's the vision you have? Yeah.
The vision is I think everybody throughout their life had a vision.
Okay.
But what the problem is that a lot of people are feeling like not happy about themselves because they weren't fulfilled, they haven't achieved what they wanted to become, they haven't accomplished their goals, set what they had what they expected of themselves.
Correct.
And especially when they compare themselves to their friends and family and other things.
Yes.
So this gives a very uncomfortable feeling to a person.
Okay.
So I think that there has to be some kind of a major motivation. It requires a lot of motivation, and it requires identifying their barriers and being able to overcome those things.
Right.
And this is, I think, it's going to be a very big task for a person to get it done.
And will it be meaningful? Will that change the kind of person you connect with and the kind of home you build? Yes, sir.
It definitely would change. A
There you
lot
go.
of people who are not married is because they are not where they're supposed to be.
I'm sorry, repeat that, I didn't hear.
I said a lot of people who are not married is because they don't offer what they wanted to offer. They don't have
Okay,
they're not
so-
at their own best, so
Right.
therefore they don't even have the confidence, or they don't even have the
Right.
or a lot of times I think what happened is that a lot of people, they think that, wow, I'm a king and I deserve a queen.
Okay, but that's another topic.
But
another
also
topic.
they are not even not even near to be a king, but
Right.
they're still looking for a queen.
Right. So I'll tell you, I would be very careful deciding why people that aren't yet married aren't yet married. You might have ideas, I might have ideas, but reality could be a lot different. Sometimes, just if you can hear me, sometimes people are already aligned with who they want to become. They're growing, they're in a good place, and they still didn't find the right person. So I'm not trying to suggest, and I don't think it would be fair or honest or equitable to say that, well, if someoe's not married, that means they're not working on themselves, or they're not who they, no. But let me just, sorry, one more moment. But what I do believe is as you grow and you become better and better, then what you attract grows with you. So potentially, the person that was waiting for you or needs to connect with you, you wouldn't have found each other, or you wouldn't have been able to connect with each other until you went to that 75 level or 80 level, whatever the level that. So that's what I would say. But to really put people in a box and say, well, they're not married.
I wasn't trying to put anybody
Yeah.
in a box. I was just generally saying that these are these contributing factors.
Of
But
course,
however,
many factors.
However, what really happened is that as long as a person is growing,
Yes.
it gives them enormous amount of positive feeling, gives them a lot of endorphin, gives them a lot of better prestige and better to project better,
Sure.
and that it of itself attracts people.
Of course, of course. You know what it is? It's when you are happy with yourself, then you become more attractive to others. You know, a lot of people, they have a drug. You know what the drug is? It's not any of the illegal drugs or legal drugs or no. They have a drug. You know what that drug is? That drug is feeling bad for yourself. Feeling bad for yourself. Sometimes in life, people feel bad for themselves. And when you feel bad for yourself, you're not the best version of yourself. And when you're not the best version of yourself, you don't attract the kind of people you want to be with. The energy doesn't align. And if you are with someone, by the way, this could be a big thing, and I think this is a big possibility. If you are not energetically the best you can be, and you're really, like a lot of people today suffer from massive anxiety and depression, and they're so down on life, and they don't see no good future for themselves, but they think, I'll find someone and they're gonna make me happy. And that's where there's a lot of risk. So what I'm saying, what I would like to suggest is that first you have to get yourself to a good place. First, to become the right person, you gotta work out whoever you have to forgive from your past. And that person could be you. And a lot of times that's the biggest person you gotta forgive. A lot of times you're holding on to something from your past, but it lives alive today within you. And you keep giving it birth every day, every moment. You know, I heard something really nice today. So there was one guy who came and he said a joke. Everybody laughed, it was so funny. Guess what he did after that? He said the joke again. People laughed, but a little bit less. He said the joke again. Same exact joke. 3 times, 4 times, 5. After he said it like a bunch of times, you know what happened? People didn't, they yawned. Like, ah. And they had enough. Why? Because it keeps repeating the same thing and it loses its power. But the thing is, in life, a lot of times, we keep repeating the same joke, but yet we keep laughing. Meaning, we keep taking our past and living it as if it happened to us, as if it happened to us today, as if it happened to us right now. We relive it. It's like, you know, when you're in a bad place emotionally, your whole biochemical composition changes. When you're sitting, for example, right now, can anyone describe for me what a depressed person who's really in a height of depression right this moment, how did that person look, walk, and talk? Anyone? Is their head up?
Down, definitely.
Oh, I can't hear. Their head is down, okay.
And, you know, no eye contact and
Okay.
very much
Sloppy.
Sloppy?
Like they're tired and they don't care.
They don't care, okay, okay. Are they talkative or are they quiet?
Quiet.
Quiet, okay,
but sometimes maybe screaming.
okay. And what about a guy who's really happy, in a good state, they're like in a great mood? What are they doing? How are they?
First thing is they head chin up.
Chins up, okay, what else?
Controlled.
Control, okay. Anyone else?
You know, have a smile on, they make eye contact, the body language is there, you know, the steps are firm and straight, you know. The whole thing, it projects a happy, positive personality.
100%. You know, just our face has about 80 muscles or so.
Yes.
And depending on how you use those muscles, it changes your whole biochemistry. There were massive studies where people just looked in the mirror. They suffered from clinical depression. You know what clinical depression means, guys? It means that a doctor gave a stamp, you're officially depressed, okay? And these guys, they did like an experiment. They would have to come every day, no drugs, no nothing, just look at the mirror and smile for 30 minutes. Just look in the mirror and smile. Guess what? All of them had a significant change in their depression, just because they were smiling more often. So yes, absolutely, that's very true. It's very true. So anyways, guys, we're going to wrap up. What I really want to tell you all is that we definitely want to go ahead and really realize how we identify ourselves. You know, what's your identity? Please, you know, write that down. What's your identity? How do you look at yourself? How do you see yourself? And then I want you to write down, how would you like to see yourself? How would you like to identify yourself in the future? If you could right now structure the best version of yourself, who would that version be? Okay, and we're going to discuss this among ourselves in the groups and so forth. And I'll see you guys next week. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything I can address, help with? Guys, anything? We're all good? Okay. Thank you very much and have a great night. And we're going to put on some music and enjoy ourselves and see you next week. Alrighty.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.